Hello, hello.
R.I.S.E.
Awesome.
Hey, Dwayne.
So I'm going to be performing a couple pieces tonight. The first one goes out to the church. Church! This is not a specific attack on any individual church or church community. This is just some general information that I want to share based on experience. Picture this. A whole bunch of little kids wondering what scripture fits their injuries. Unbelief and judgment working hard against honest ministry, mixing institution with church makes it industry. And often we see these preachers preaching their false prophecies. It's embarrassing the way these wannabe rare breeds end up acting like Pharisees. Go to church and there we see some of the biggest heresies. A bunch of sick victims acting like they're scared to bleed. I come in bearing scars and they're wondering why they're scared of me. Ignorance is a weapon of self-destruction. When doctrine is built on tradition, clashing cultures breed corruption. Listen very closely, because I've got to tell you something. If the church is the bride, then it's been cheating on its husband. The church is a rehabilitation center, supposedly. A hospital for the sick, in theory. Too many times do we fall for the trick of believing that we're the doctors. You see, we're not the ones doing the curing, we've got the disease. So stop dressing up like beauty when you know that you're the beast. Or do you? Have you let your pride fool you? When pride reigns, it sits back and lets your lack rule you. Church folk are hospital patients with no patience for the hospital. Looking for a map when they don't know they're lost at all. Looking for wisdom, but sometimes they think they've got it all, and that type of pride is infection that makes me want to bawl. Too many times have I fallen victim to the dominion of stringent opinions. Good intention, filthy rags, blood stain the color of crimson. If we're all sick and sickness is sinning, then why do you look at those with sin and start grinning? If they're sick, with a sickness that needs attention, the church acts a lot less like a hospital and ever more like a morgue, ready at any time to lift up the sword and with one foul swipe judge with the anger of the Lord. Thinking we have the power to throw them overboard, not of this world, where they must be from Mars. You look at those with AIDS and laugh when you've got SARS. Have you forgotten what's crazy is diseases are thicker where they're treated, just as fire tends to be hotter where it's heated, just as people tend to be friendlier where they're greeted, just as medicine should be available when it's needed, but y'all treat God's anecdote for sin like an elixir, pouring salt on other people's wounds and justifying it with scripture. I don't care how many scriptures you quote. The word is not an immunization shot, it's an antidote. Life's a battlefield of a wedding and this bride has got some wounds. So there's only time to find the groom and find him very soon, instead of looking at others' womb and calling them infected, rejected. Let's bite the bullet, chase the moon and get perfected, because you are not better. And that's what you suggested every time you look at somebody else's infection, thinking that they're sicker than you is demented. Got you thinking that your own health gets you to heaven. Think about it. The truth is we're all imperfect. And if a clean bill of health is needed, then us filthy rags is worthless. Christ replaced love with the judgment of the earth. It's up to us to search it, find it, and unearth it.